Welcome everybody to this week's live stream. Um, I'm going to let everybody kind of get in to the. I kind of wait till we get around. Well, we got a good amount of people in here, 11 people in here, but I want to give it a little bit of time. Just an update. I wasn't able to do a live stream last week. I told you that my in-laws were, hey, Stephanie, how's it going? And welcome to Blaine. And I know Angel A. Paul loves and Alana had made some comments. Alana, I will get to talking about Monterrey if you're here. If not, if you watch it later, it'll probably be towards the end because I always take questions and you ask me anything, even though I have a subject that I cover. But the reason why this week's live stream, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about one of the things that I noticed. And there's nothing to catch up on. I guess the channel's still going the same. The only thing is I'm noticing a lot more comments that are very aggressive. I don't know if it's because of the political ambient or whatever, but I usually hide those comments or hide that user or delete the comments because I just don't agree. Like I said, I'm not out for a popularity contest. I'm not out here to fight. I'm not out here to be proven right. I'm trying to keep my community the best I can, that we're helping each other out. We're not here to criticize each other. We're not here to put each other down. We're not here to, I don't know, put me down or me put you down or argue. If I'm wrong about something, I'm wrong. I did notice a comment. Someone said, don't trust this guy because he admitted he was wrong, so he didn't do his research. You know what? I did my research. And when I found out that I was incorrect in what I did in the video, I corrected myself. That is what I try to do with this channel, is giving you the most accurate information that I can. I'm not an expert. Like I've told you many a times, I've had many people come up and remind me of certain things that I didn't know maybe. This is why we have this community. This is why I'm trying to build this community as much as I can through my Facebook group and through these live streams, trying to give you the best information possible. And sometimes I might not have the answer. Maybe someone else in the community. And this is what's really great about these lives. Actually, I've kind of gotten away from the videos because of personal reasons, but at the same time, I am starting to do this live thing because it's more interactive. You can ask questions. If I don't know the answer, then someone else might know the answer. It's been really great. People have stepped up to the plate and answered other people's questions for me. And actually brought up great points, even disagreed with me, and actually made a good point with disagreeing, or actually brought on a great conversation. So, hey, Lambden, how's it going? The reason why I picked this subject is not just about doing community service. It is about doing community service for the community. It is about giving back to this great country that is giving you permission to be here. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is I always discuss this about integrating into the community. I always discuss about you need to learn the language. You should learn the language. You should integrate into the community. And one of the things that I always tell people is one of the reasons why 80 to 90% of actually the statistic of people moving down here, 60% to 70% of the people move back home. Okay. Actually, we rented my house for a little while. Those individuals moved back home. They didn't like it, or it didn't agree with them. But one of the things that I'm trying to do with my channel is tell you don't need to go home. You can make a life here. You can enjoy your life here. The problem is that most of the people that go home, they get frustrated. They get frustrated because life isn't the same as it is back in their home country. Things don't work the same. Maybe customer service is not the same, or maybe it's better here. But because I get mixed opinions on that, but maybe it's not the way you're used to it. I talked about a guy that was complaining and that's problem with social media. I see all these posts and this is ridiculous. I went to the store and I couldn't buy this. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. And they forget they're in a different country. Okay. But one of the things that's very important is learning the culture, assimilating into the culture, and it's easier said than done. Sometimes I say, you know what, find your tribe here. There's nothing wrong. I get it. Some people have opinions that I don't deal with other expats. I only deal with locals, or I only deal with other expats. I don't deal with, that's okay. I'm not putting that down. What I'm trying to tell you is you need to find your own place here in Mexico. That way you'll be happy. Okay. And one of the things that's really great to do is integrate into the community. That's number one. Number two, I found, and actually Alana, no, not Alana, Angel was saying that, oh, this is right up my alley. I'm bored out of my mind and not sure where to go. Okay. And he was making a joke, LOL. And that comment is so true, because you get here, you don't know anybody, and that can be isolation. Isolation can lead to, I want to go home. I don't want to be here. You might not, I'm not used to this culture, so I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. Hey, Anna and Sigma AF. Great, thanks. Oh, you're from Belize, listening from Belize. Great, tuning in from Belize. Nice to see you. Welcome. So a lot of times you might not know where to go, what to do. And yeah, Facebook is great. I always tell people, go to the local Facebook group. San Miguel has one. Cabo has one. Cancun has one. Playa del Carmen has one. And you might meet people. Querétaro has one. But sometimes those groups can be a little bit toxic in some senses. Sometimes you might feel uncomfortable. And you might feel, hey, Besses from Puerto Vallarta, welcome, how's it going? You might feel uncomfortable in a sense that you might get into this Facebook group and you might ask a question and might get insulted, and you might not think, oh my God, this is not the place for me to be. So what you really need to do is integrate into the community. And what I mean by the community is a community as a whole, okay? And I'm using this example of an experience of mine. We've actually been involved with this dog shelter, dog refuge for a while now, but it was an experience that, well, we were getting good. How would you say? We were helping the community at this dog refuge, but at the same time, it led to other things. And I'm going to use this as an example. Now, doing shelter work or refuge, you might not be a dog person. You might be a cat person. Hey, Henry, how's it going? Oh, you're in Morelia. Hey, great. You might not be a dog person, so there's other things to do. Here in San Miguel, we have a food bank. Ajijic, I know, has a food bank where they feed people. You go to these community services, and you can actually meet people that you have in common. When we help at this dog refuge, we meet other Americans, but we also meet people from the local community that help. When we do these things with the dog refuge, it's not just with other Americans or other Canadians or other Australians. It's, hey, Tom, how's it going? Great to see you. It's with a lot of different people. So you kind of get to, and you find your niche. Not only that, but these community service projects are something to do. We wake up in the morning. I'll just give you an example of my daily routine. I wake up in the morning. We wake up very early in the morning. We have two little mini huskies, and they need to go out for a walk. And at 7 o'clock, it's very, very nice out here in San Miguel de Allende. Even in the summertime, it's cool. It's in the 70s. So we take the girls out at 7 o'clock in the morning. We come back and we go to the gym, and we have a gym here, and in San Miguel, where we have several, and we go to the gym, and our day starts at noon. We have different appointments that we go to. I'm not getting any younger, so I have to go to the doctor sometimes. We've gotten involved in all different types of activities, and it's gotten to the point, and Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, when we can, at 11:30, at 10:30, we go and we help this dog refuge because the dogs need to go out for a walk. So we have a whole group of people that walks dogs. The dog refuge not only has people that walks dogs, and not only it's great because you get exercise, you get to help out the dogs, the rescued dogs, and you also get to help out the refuge. And those who don't want to walk dogs, they also have a program where you can help them when they on the weekends when they have adoptions in town. You can help them by helping them with the adoption. They take the dogs to Petco and put them out for adoption. So there's a lot of things you can do that to keep you busy. The biggest problem, and I saw this when I retired, I went from 100 miles an hour all the time to 0 miles an hour. And I know we all sit there and say, man, I hate work. I can't wait to quit. I can't wait to quit. But something happens when we don't work, because, it feels so good when you go on vacation, when you're working, you're stressed out, you go on vacation and you wish you were on vacation every day. Okay. What I found is that when you stop working, you're not on vacation anymore. The first couple of months is a vacation, but then afterwards you're like, what do I do? And it's not something that just touches you if you move to Mexico. It's something that you have to deal with if you're going to live that second part of your life in retirement. And other people, they're not retired yet, but yeah, they may work. But then they're also, what do I do here in Mexico? Because I was used to going to the movies and doing all sorts of stuff. You can still go to the movies here, but you have to find that life where you're on vacation every day. And I feel I'm on vacation every day. I adjusted my life to where I'm on vacation every day. So my life in Mexico is a vacation every single day. And if you have a vacation every single day here in Mexico, you're not going to want to go back. What happens when you go on vacation? Do you want to go back home? No, you don't. You don't want to go back home until reality hits and you have to go back home, right? And the thing is the secret is to staying on vacation every day. Now, we got involved in this dog rescue program and Lucky Dogs. And I'm also going to leave, if you want to help too, if you feel, I'm going to leave a link in my video description. I need to get the link. You can donate money. You can even, there's people that donate food. If you're not living here, maybe money, but if you're living here in San Miguel de Allende, you can eat, you can drop by with a 50-pound sack of dog food. They take donations and they help rescue dogs. One of the things in Mexico that Mexico has a big problem with is stray dogs. Now, the government has tried to put together programs to control the spread of dogs or the multiplication. And they have instituted programs where you can take them and spade the dog, and the veterinarian gets the subsidy from the government to do it. You pay practically nothing. There's even groups that do that. They go and pick dogs up off the street and fix them so that they won't multiply. A lot of times, maybe you can't save the dog because they're too wild already. So there's a lot of community service program. We started with our love of animals. We started with the program of walking dogs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Why? Because we wanted something extra to do. We wanted to stay. Now, the funny thing is, I talk about, Alana, not a problem that you're late. I will get to Monterrey at the very end when I do my Ask Me Anything. Not a problem, but we already have filled our schedule, but we decided to fit this in. And it is something that we're not able to go every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We've actually started only going one day because our schedule has gotten a little bit fuller. Also, I've told you that last weekend I couldn't do my live because my schedule is very full. And we got involved in this program. It's called Lucky Dogs. It's called Lucky Dogs Rescue, I believe. And we started to help them walk the dogs. Every Monday they go out for a 1 hour walk. And what's beautiful about this is these dogs are so appreciative that they just love to go on the walk. They're so loving with the people. Lucky Dog Club. Yes. Lucky Dog Clubhouse is what it's called. And thank you. My wife, actually, I was going to ask her if she's on, if she could correct me. But it's called Lucky Dog Clubhouse. And what's great about this is we get to walk. We even take treats. We get to meet the different animals that are there. And we get to give back to the community, but we also get exercise. It's about a 1 hour, we do a 45-minute walk. So we walk, we exercise. And we exercise on top of the exercise that we already do. And so it keeps us healthy. So it's not just a matter of benefiting the shelter. You benefit yourself. You benefit yourself in exercise. You benefit yourself in self-gratification that you're helping, that you're giving an animal or a dog a chance that they didn't have before when they were on the street. And we've run across many dogs. Different dogs are getting rescued from abuse. Some dogs have been hit by a car. The one I'm just about to show you, actually in the thumbnail, her name's Clarita. This dog, and I'm going to give you her story, and I'm going to show you some pictures of her. But this dog, somebody decided they were going to abandon her. So they, out by the highway, they threw her out the window or threw her out the door and drove away. And while driving away, ran over her. And there was some security guards in front of this company or this area. And the security guards decided, let's bring her here. She was in a lot of pain. And the security guards one of the residents in Cirándaro, where I live, decided that they had contacts with the guards or whatever, and they reached out to all the residents here in Mexico. I mean, here in the neighborhood, not in Mexico, all the residents in the neighborhood. And they said, hey, we have this dog. It got run over. And actually they contacted us because we've done fundraising projects, because they do fundraising projects. And my wife is a member of a little group chat in our neighborhood, not our neighborhood, but all of Cirándaro. And we were told, they said, hey, can you help us? We know you work with a dog rescue. Can this dog rescue help us? And we're willing to put up the money, whatever we need to do, but we need to take her somewhere. She needs a home. And so we contacted the dog rescue. And let me tell you something. First of all, the attitude towards animals or dogs here, it's changing here in Mexico. But in the United States, where I'm from, we treat my two little mini huskies are like our babies, just like our kids. But here in Mexico, most dogs are kept outside. They're not well taken care of. Most people see dogs as, well, they're just animals. They're nothing. And so it's very uncommon for the Mexican community to actually come forward. And I'm not saying it's not uncommon I'm not saying it's totally uncommon, because it is, there are people, like I said, in this dog rescue that are from the local community too. But it's very uncommon for people to step up to the plate like this. And we were very impressed. We basically got a hold of them. They quickly told us, hey, we work with this vet. This vet can do the surgery. Take the dog to this vet. this puppy to the vet, and she's a beautiful little puppy. And take the puppy to the vet. They'll operate on her. They have a doctor on staff at Lucky Dog Clubhouse, and they said, get a hold of our doctor, our veterinarian. She'll get a hold of the other doctor. They'll coordinate, and they will get her to, get her to us, basically, to Lucky Dogs. I'm happy to say that we were able to get her to operated on. She had a broken foot and her hip. The prognosis is very good. She's running around. She loves to play. She's happy now. She was very nervous and in pain. She's happy now. She's at Lucky Dogs. Tomorrow is her first physical therapy. She's going to have physical therapy. The vet said she's going to be just fine. And actually, we're actually considering very seriously, with logistics, of course, of adopting this little one and giving back to the community in that way also. So what I'm going to do, let me pull up some pictures here. I'm going to pull up some pictures so you guys can see how cute she is. And this is after the surgery. I'm going to pull this up here. And let's see if I can bring this up. Hold on just one second. Okay, I'm going to let me bring the photos up. And here she is at Lucky Dog Clubhouse. That's her name is Clarita because of her eyes are clear. And there she is again. And as you can see, they, right here on her foot, they broke her foot and her hip. Her hip wasn't broken, it was just dislocated. They were able to locate it back. And there's the veterinarian from Lucky Dogs holding her. And as you can see, she's very happy now. See if I have, and there she is in her little pen. They have a special area at Lucky Dogs for the new dogs that are coming in, and also for puppies. So they had the puppies. And let me see if we have, here she is. And let me see, I think we have a movie of her moving around. That was when we went and picked her up at the vet after her operation. So let me go into, we have a couple of movies here. This is me taking her. And she was very nervous. She was trembling. She didn't know what to do. But we brought her, and I was petting her and soothing her, and she actually let me give you another preview here. Oh, let me make sure. This is her playing. Look at her. This is her walking around. This is after the surgery. One day after the surgery, she's able to walk around. And of course, she limps, but she's able to walk around. And I've got one more movie to show you guys. And this is her, all happy because we just showed up to visit her. And this is the where she's staying right now. And tomorrow she's gonna have physical therapy. So let me go back to my regular stream screen. So that's basically our experience with rescuing this dog. And the thing was, we didn't rescue. Well, I mean, we helped and we put everybody in together and we coordinated everything. But and she is adorable. She's that's what we fell in love with her the minute we went and picked her up. And we had not only helped and coordinated everything. I mean, we can't take credit for rescuing the dog, Clarita, or why do I say the dog is Clarita. We weren't totally responsible for rescuing her. It was a group effort. It was a group effort of our neighborhood who all got together. As a matter of fact, we were able to raise enough money, even more money, to donate to the shelter. And we actually raised more money to give extra money to the shelter, but we raised enough money for her operation, and everybody put in their part. One of our neighbors, not our neighbor in this particular neighborhood, but in one of the neighborhoods in my big neighborhood or whatever, they went and picked her up. They took her to the vet. They made sure that they were all right. And this is an example of a community effort. You look at me, I'm an American. The director of she's Mexican, but she's also dual national. She's American also. The co-director at the other shelter, there's two of them here in San Miguel, Doug, he's from Colorado, I think, because he's got a 303 area code number. But he's from the United States. But yet all the people that help were local, here from Mexico, and the people that work there in the shelter are local people. That doctor is the veterinarian. She's from here, from San Miguel. And so that is an example. We got a great sense of accomplishment doing that. And these are the little things that you can do that you can feel like you're on vacation every day. Exactly what I'm trying to stress here. And this is how you can help. Now, like I said, you may not be a dog person. Maybe you want to feed the homeless. Maybe you can go work at a food bank, and maybe when you give out food, you can get that sense of accomplishment. And yeah, it's a lot of work. It was a lot of work. Our whole week was tied up rescuing Clarita. But it's a sense of accomplishment. You're busy. You're interacting with other people. You're making new friends. We've made new friends by doing this. Not only local friends from here, from San Miguel, but also people from all over the world. This is how you meet people. This is how you keep busy. This is how you say, I don't want to go home. Because my goal is for you not to say, I want to go home. One thing that I don't like on Facebook groups is people complaining how things aren't the way they are back home and how ridiculous it is. You got to understand, you're in a different country. You're not, you know what? Tap your red slippers and say, whatever, Dorothy, go home or whatever. If you really feel that way, then go home. I'm sorry, but I know Americans tell that to people, speak the language, go home. I'm not telling you that in this way. I'm not telling you that in a racist way or a mean way. What I'm telling you is that if you take that attitude and don't understand, you're going to end up going home. I don't even need to tell you to go home. You will go home. But if you get involved like this, as a matter of fact, there are some Americans and Canadians that this is a full-time job for them. They literally volunteer their time, 8 hours a day. There's people that sit at the desk for 4 hours or 5 hours. They'll take whatever you can give them. There's people that go out and do fundraising. There's people that spend their whole Saturdays. They spend their Saturday at Petco trying to get a new home for these animals. And what are they doing? They're interacting with people. They make friends. They make friends with the people that they're helping with or working with. They make friends with the people that come and see the dogs. And not only that, in the end, we're going to give Clarita a new life. We gave her a chance. Someone threw her by the side of the road and left her for dead. And now she has a second chance. And you can take pleasure in that. And like I said, there's all sorts of projects. Okay. And you know what? Community service, you're giving back to the community. We're giving back to Mexico, but you're also giving back to yourself if you think about it. Okay. You're staying busy. You're volunteering. And you know what? We volunteered for a couple of things. And some of those things just didn't work out. I remember there was a food bank and where they go and they visit little towns. And we were going to volunteer because we spoke Spanish, and they take food to the little towns. And we met this lady that was in charge, and all she cared about was for us to be chauffeurs if we had a car and we needed to take everybody and we weren't important. So we said, no, we want to actually help. We want to be part of the group, not a chauffeur. Okay. So we said, we're not going to help. And we said, well, we speak Spanish. Well, we already have translators. So you might run into that. Okay. I'm not saying that you're going to find your community service right away, but keep trying. Find your tribe and integrate. Don't just leave yourself into, I only deal with Americans. I only deal with locals. I only deal with this. I only want that. You have to be flexible moving here to Mexico, regardless of what you do or what tribe you're in or what your goals are. And 1 second, I need to, like I always have to drink water because of my cancer. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that helps you and encourages you to get out and do some community service. And you know what? Community service, there's all sorts of stuff going on here. We went to a car show, an antique car show. I got to see Mustang Shelbys back in the day when I was in high school, fully restored. Ferraris, an old Magnum PI Ferrari. I got to see Jeeps back from the old days, Corvettes that I hadn't seen in years. These are car collectors. And it was there's a winery right here, and they had a car show. And we went to the car show. Those are things to do. And that's where I'm trying to get at. Keep busy. I mean, you know what? It was funny. We went to the car show. I mean, I'm not a car guy. I like cars or whatever, but I'm not a car guy. I'm not into antique cars or old cars. But hey, it's something to do. And we'll go have a beer and we'll go eat barbecue because they had a barbecue stand there. And we went. And actually, we have a neighbor who had an antique Mercedes, and they're the ones that told us about it. And I wouldn't in the United States, I wouldn't go to a car show. I'm not a car buff. But we went just to go. And when we went, it was like, wow. They even had a race car from 1910. And the guy actually started it up and everything, fully restored. And it was like, wow. This is awesome. And I was like, wow, there's a Mustang Shelby, the old Shelby back in the 80s, from the 80s. This is like a Corvette, a 1980, not even an 80, a 1975 Corvette. This brings me back to my childhood days. And it was something very simple. Let's just go do something. And you get satisfaction out of it. And I guarantee you, if you don't do something, then you're going to be bored. You're going to start saying, I don't fit in. You're going to start saying, I don't like it here. I don't like the way things are done here because it's not the way. You know, one of the things, you know what, I'll get on a personal level here. We brought my in-laws back here to San Miguel. My in-laws, they love their house. They love their home. They're used to their home, but we just couldn't sustain it there. So we brought them back. And of course, they're They're like, oh my God, I'm not in my house. And all of us would do that. If you were to take Anna out of your house. And one of the things that I tell my in-laws and I tell everybody is, you're human. Humans don't like change. That is a human characteristic. Now, you may be adventurous. You may go out and have adventures, but deep down inside, we don't like change. And when we're raised a certain way, when we're given a certain thing in culture, it's very hard to change. But if we open ourselves up to change, then that change becomes our new, how would I say it, our new habit. And it's no longer a change. Now it's the new way of life. And that's what I had to do when I came to Mexico. I fell in love with the idea. It's great, everything else. But both of us, and my wife had been away from Mexico for many years, worked in the United States. And both of us were like, the first 6 months, we were like lost. And we didn't know what to do. And we didn't like it here. And it doesn't work the same. We went through all of that. But we were open to change because both my wife and I, we love to travel. We love to experience new things. And tomorrow, if we were to move to Portugal, we would move to Portugal if we could afford it. But I mean, what I'm saying is we're open to it. And that's my point. Okay. And when you open yourself up to it, even though it's hard, even though it stinks, even though you accept it and start accepting it little by little until it becomes a habit. I'll tell you what, my in-laws have been here for 1 week. They were already like, no, we don't want to go. We don't know, all sorts of excuses. But you want to know something? After 1 week, we had them here today. We had a barbecue. My father-in-law's like, this place is so awesome. And my mother-in-law's like, oh, the weather's so awesome. And they're changing. They're opening themselves up to change. And eventually, as a matter of fact, you even talk about going back to Monterrey. They're like, oh, man, this is better than Monterrey. But they still have their home back there. They still miss it. And you're going to still miss it. That's human nature. You're only human. There's nothing wrong with you to miss your home. There's nothing wrong with you to miss your old things. There's nothing wrong with you missing where you grew up or where you came from. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to survive here in Mexico, you got to be open to the change and make that your new habit. And we've made a habit. And that's not just in living in Mexico. That's in retirement. When people ask me, I am in a job. I was in a job where many of us do our 20 years to check off a little check mark on our resume, and after 20 years we retire, so we get a nice little pension, and then we go off and work for. One of my ex-coworkers works for Pfizer as head of security. Other coworkers are vice presidents of banks in the anti-money laundering. Others are head of security for some of the biggest companies, for GM, for Ford. People that I worked with. Hey, Rick, how's it going? It's great to see you. And so those people, they go, they check the box because I'm an ex-federal agent. And then there's like a little club that, if hey, what year did you retire? And blah, blah, blah. And then the next thing you know, you're getting hired. And they keep working because they don't know any other life. At 52, I cut it off. And I said, no more. Do I miss it? Yeah. But I readjusted. And it's not just life here in Mexico, but it's life in general. It's retirement. It's coming here to a new place, exploring new things. And yes, it can be exciting at first, but eventually reality hits. And when reality hits, you're going to miss all those things. But if you're open to the change, you're going to say, I don't know how many times I say, you know what? Last night I was in a discussion. We went to a get together for a birthday party for some friends of ours, and their relatives came in. They live in Arizona, and he was asking me, how do you like living in Mexico? How did you adjust? What are the things you miss in the United States? And actually, it was two of us. One of my friends, another friend who just moved from Arizona. Also, we were talking to him, and we were saying, "Yeah, we miss a lot of things. We miss a lot of things, but we don't miss, or we don't want to go back. Neither one of us. And it's not a matter of because it's better, or we don't want to go back because we made a life here, and that's what it is. So I'm going to get to the comments, and actually I'm at 45 minutes, so I'm going to answer some questions. Best volunteers, low level commitment, know your level of expertise, know what you're willing to learn and do, and know it is volunteering, and know when to bring it to a close. Yes, Laura, that is very important. I agree. There are some things that, and I'm not advocating volunteering for everything here. Like I said, you need to find your niche. For me, it's the dog rescue club or the lucky dog clubhouse. For me, that's it. That's walking dogs. I get exercise. I get to help the dogs. But like I understand, you may not be a dog person. Everybody here might not be a dog person. So, it would be kind of pointless for you to volunteer at a dog rescue. And here's the other thing too. Volunteer and community service doesn't just mean, I'm going to go feed the homeless. I'm going to go volunteering. We volunteered for a lot of things in the neighborhood. Hey, we need volunteers. We're going to have a party for so-and-so. Who wants to bring the cake? We'll bring the cake. We'll make the cake. Volunteering, and we're helping the community, maybe not helping the community as the San Miguel de Allende community, but we're helping our neighborhood. We're interacting with our neighbors, and also know when to bring it to a close. Like I said, we walk the dogs when we can. And I know that sounds a little selfish, but you have to put limits on it. Of course. I totally agree with you, Laura. Oh, thank you, Rick. For those that have had a chance to meet Ernie, he is even more gracious in person, and his wife, Amy, is amazing. Thank you, Rick. Yeah, we really loved having you guys over. And actually, we love meeting everybody, making new friends, having get-togethers and stuff. Let me see here. Sigma AF. I think that's a Sigma. I don't remember. I was in a fraternity, and I should know my Greek letters. I don't know about San Miguel, but here in Corizal, help is always needed in the schools and community cleanup campaign. It's a great way to meet people and brainstorm possible projects. Perfect. And we have that here too. There's a lot of groups that do that. And you can actually ask in the Facebook groups. And I did put Facebook groups down a little bit, but that is the best source for finding that. Just don't get too insulted if someone says, you're at that stupid question. You know what? I just ignore that. Let me see. I recall seeing a story from last year about where some organizations in Mexico dismissed all the American volunteers to replace them by Mexico. I hadn't heard of that, nerd. But there's a lot of nonprofit organization, and there's a lot of nonprofits, and a lot of them don't necessarily work with the local government. This Lucky Dog Clubhouse does not work with the local government. Probably the food banks do, and all of that stuff, because they got to get special permissions and all of that stuff. And, you know, you might have some of that where they don't, who do you think you are? Here's the other thing that I need to that you guys need to understand about community service. One moment, please. I got a drink. Is you have to do it out of your own heart, not to feel important, not to feel that you're cool or I'm important. I'm going to feel good about myself. Yeah, you can feel good about yourself because you help. But the problem that I've also seen here in Mexico, and I'm going to bring this up, is that there's a lot of people that, oh, we help at the food bank. We're better than everybody else. No, you're not better than everybody else. We appreciate your help, but you're not better than everybody else. I always equate it to, for example, in the United States, this is very common. They'll put an advertisement on TV, feed the hungry, and they'll show a starving kid, and someone will send $20 and they'll feel good about themselves because they sent $20. Okay. But hey, Buddha, thanks for subscribing. Bud Hagen. I'm sorry, not Buddha, Bud Hagen. And they'll sit there and feel good about themselves because they helped by sending $10, but then they'll turn around and tell the homeless guy to go take a hike and treat them really bad. So you really need, when you're doing community service, you got to do it for a reason. And maybe the reason is meeting new people. And maybe the reason is so you could feel a sense of gratification. But I don't feel more important because we rescued this dog. I don't feel more important than anybody here, anybody in my community. Because someone else didn't go out and pick up the Clarita doesn't mean that I'm going to put you down because you don't pick up Clarita. No. And I see this with rescue dogs too. We have two pedigree animals. And people look at us like, oh, you're bad because you have pedigrees and you don't have rescue dogs. Well, you know what? Everybody has a different thing. And actually, we're going to end up adopting this one. So when we end up doing more work to rescue dogs with two pedigrees than some people do, putting you down because they think you're bad because you didn't take a rescue dog. I get it. We all have opinions, but we need to do this volunteer work or like I said, to meet other people, to be part of the community. What's important about volunteer work is not the work you're doing. It's about community. It's about working together. It's about meeting people. It's about meeting those people who benefit. We met Clarita. Or you can meet a homeless person or somebody that you're feeding off the street and you can relate. They're human beings just like you. So that's it. Brett, the expat who always talk about home and mean where they came from are the ones I see move back. Exactly, Brett. I totally agree. The ones who call Mexico home are the ones who stay. And that's why this is exactly why I brought this live stream up. Is you want to be on vacation every day and call Mexico home. Home is where your heart is, and this is where our heart is. And we made it that way. Oh, you're 2 miles, crow flies from Chetumal. Wow. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Yeah. And thanks for the ride home. Actually, you and your husband are great people. Yeah, Tom, you're right. Every change we make in life only grows us as human beings. When I moved to Puerto Rico in the 70s, didn't know a soul and wasn't completely fluent back then. But it was the best decision ever. Yeah, and you know what? Mexico's the best decision ever. 100%. Volunteer mentally. It is service oriented and everything else is a plus. Exactly, Laura. And you can get a lot of benefit from volunteering. And like I said, We've made, and actually some of the volunteer stuff that we've done and some of the, I'll give an example, and not even volunteer stuff. Some of the activities that we've decided to go to when we first got here, we don't go anymore because the person who puts it on is kind of we found out later on in life that she, I don't want to get into it, but she kind of tries to scam newcomers and try off their money. Is kind of sort of a con artist. We didn't realize it at the time, but we went to her, what do you call it, newcomers breakfast that they would have every week. And we met some of the best friends that we've kept for all of this time. Some of the friends that we've had since we've gotten here, we met through those newcomer. I know here in San Miguel de Allende, they have, actually, there's a couple of groups here, and I know there's some in Querétaro. I don't know about other areas, but they have a meetup where people from the local community that speak Spanish want to learn English, and people from expats or immigrants, whatever you want to call yourself, because I always have to be politically correct, because I always get a comment because I said expat, because it's supposedly somehow a dirty word. But if you're an expat and you want to learn Spanish, they all get together, they all have dinner, and then they all try to talk Spanish and English to each other, and they make friends. So these are the types of activities I'm talking about. These are the kinds of groups that you can, and you know what? That's community service. Why is it community service? It's community service because the local people want to learn English, and you're helping them learn English, and they're helping you. So they're doing a service to you also. Community service goes both ways. When you go and you help at a dog shelter, or you help at a food bank, or you help with the elderly. There's even groups that help with other elderly expats, or even elderly people here in Mexico that help. Oh, I'm going to take care of this elderly person for 3 hours a week, or whatever. All of these groups, you're doing them a service, but they're also doing you a service. Think about that. Think about that puppy that's so happy to see you because you're going to walk him every day, or you rescued him, or Clarita, I'm almost sure is well, never going to forget us because she'll probably end up in our house. But even if someone else comes along and says, "Oh, we want to give her a home. We love her. Oh my God," Clarita still did us a service. We just didn't do her a service. She did us a service. And she's going to do somebody a service, whoever she lives with. And it's probably going to be us. So just think of service, community service is not just for you doing for somebody, but it also, you get back. I don't know. Well, this saying is always said in a negative connotation, but they always say what comes around goes around. Okay. Many people use that saying, what comes around goes around, because they always use that saying, because if you did me wrong, it's going to do you wrong. Okay. There's a lot of truth to that, but think about it. What comes around goes around. If you do good in the world, good is going to come back to you. Trust me. I've seen it firsthand. So go out, integrate into your community, call Mexico home, make Mexico home. And this is a great way to make Mexico home, by doing these activities, by getting busy, by meeting other people. And community service is probably the best way to do it. And you know what? I know a lot of people that they don't get involved with the dog shelters. They don't get involved with feeding the food bank or the food bank. But I know one of our friends from New Zealand, they have a self-sustained community. Oh my God, they have all sorts of where they do saunas and they all get together and have sing-alongs and stuff like that. They're doing a service for different people, and they're not necessarily helping at the dog shelter. They're not necessarily helping feed other people, but they keep busy. And people go out there for their little seminar. They have like little seminars, not seminars, but like, we're going to do. There's a ritual, Indian rituals, where you go into like a little sweat house and you perspire, and it's supposed to bring you clarity and all that stuff. They do all that stuff. They put those on, and it's for a nominal fee. I know down here, downtown at the library, they have Spanish lessons that you can go to. So, oh wow, Terry, you're involved in. There's an American Legion for veterans that have to meet on a lot of wonderful. Oh wow, see, great example, an American Legion down here in Mexico in Puerto Vallarta. Especially if you're a veteran, yeah, you found your tribe. Exactly. Perfect. Thank you for bringing that up. You guys are awesome. You go visit the Best is in Mexico. Visit their YouTube channel. I always are very supportive of them. So I'm going to wrap it up with make Mexico your home and integrate. That's what I always say. And integrate into the culture. Try your best. Go on activities. There's even hiking groups if you want to go hiking. And Alana, before I go, a little bit about Monterrey. It's a big city. It's very industrial. It's not particularly attractive. It's closer to the United States. It's 2.5 hours from McAllen, Texas, if you want to be able to go back and forth. There is some convenience to it. It's a big city. We are kind of used to it because it is a place where what do you call it? We're familiar with because we're from the north. But if you really want to settle down and you're looking for places, I'll tell you what, probably the better places to be in the central part of Mexico. I wouldn't really suggest now if you're into the latest in nightclubs and all of that stuff and big city life, then maybe Monterrey's your stuff. But you're not going to find that sense of community like you will here. So, somebody brought up another. Well, any idea in Querétaro for helping the elderly? You know what I would do, Angel? There's a Querétaro Facebook group, and I would just ask them. I haven't heard of any groups that help the elderly. I know of one here in San Miguel de Allende that they are trying to help with palliative care and all of that stuff. I'm not very familiar with any in Querétaro. I can ask this group to see if there's any in Querétaro. But one of my next door neighbors is very involved in palliative care and helping get palliative care here in Mexico, advance it here in Mexico. And there's a lot of volunteers. Great. And actually they're in a partnership with University of UC Berkeley. No, UC, it's in University of California. So, but I'll tell you what, Angel, if you're willing to come down to San Miguel or get involved in San Miguel, because I know Querétaro is just down the road, I could probably hook you up with the person that does do that. So, any other questions before I leave? I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm finally hitting an hour. Okay, you're looking at Chapala. Yeah, that's a good place. It's not a place for us, but it actually is a nice place. They have a lake there. They have the walking. If you don't feel as comfortable, if you're more comfortable with more foreigners like Americans, Canadians, and everything else. I mean, English is very common there, spoken very common there. Most of the businesses are owned by Americans and Canadians and English-speaking people. But maybe that's not for you. But Chapala is a nice place. It's just not for us, I guess. But we enjoyed our visit there. I really did. And a lot of people say the lake it's flat. Yes. A lot of people say the lake is very contaminated. I'm not sure. No, not Ajijic. Oh, Chapala. Well, it's not Ajijic, but Chapala's close by, but it's on the other side of the lake. And we went to Ajijic and we went to Chapala. Both of them are pretty much the same. Ajijic's a little bit more elderly people and a lot of American-speaking people. Chapala's a little bit more diverse, but it's pretty much the same thing. But the lake, they say the lake's very contaminated, but we thought it was very pretty. Okay, Angel, I'll definitely entertain the idea. I'm careless, but there are buses regularly. Carless. Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks, Ernie. Making spaghetti. Okay, not a problem, Angel. But we'll talk about it later, or you can send me an email and I'll get you there. Oh, just arrived, Steph. I'm getting ready to sign off. I'm sorry. If you want to ask a question, if you have a good suggestion, Steph, just email me at info@retiredlifeofmexiconoble.com. And I might even be able to make another live out of it. I'm always looking for new ideas on making lives. Thank you very much. Like I said, today's lesson is integrate, make Mexico your home, and don't go home. Because if you miss home, then you're not trying hard enough. Because once you are open to the change, you'll never want to go back. And so you'll never want to go back. And really quick, believe it or not, they say it's the third largest city, Sigma AF. It actually competes as the second largest city next to Guadalajara. And Guadalajara, and depending on the year, Guadalajara sometimes is the second, and Monterrey sometimes is the second in population. In pure land, area, Monterrey is smaller, but it also is bigger because there's a lot of like suburbs going out. So yes, Monterrey is like the third largest and sometimes the second largest. Just thought I'd throw that in there before I sign off. Thank you, guys. Leave a like if you want to leave a like. Leave a dislike if you want to leave a dislike. Leave a nasty comment if you want to leave a nasty comment. I'll probably hide it anyway. And it helps me get the word out regardless. So thank you very much. And we will see you hopefully next week if I don't get busy with rescuing another little girl. We'll talk to you soon.